Hey guys, it's Jacqie Crafty. Welcome to my channel. We are on day 15 of the Confessions of a Paper Addict 20 Days of Cutfiles. I had the 20 days prompts for you just right at the beginning of the video. Those were all the Christmas ones. There are also summer ones because the other side of the globe is in summer season. So that's why Virginia did both. I don't know if you guys have caught that on. So people had a choice if they were joining in, if we were going to do the summer or the Christmas Cutfiles. I did mostly Christmas. I think I did a couple summer ones, but not very many. So today's prompt is Santa. I have cut this awesome new cut file this month from Confessions of a Paper Addict out that says ho ho ho. I'm going to back it. I don't think I'm going to back it very intricately. I'm going to back it with some colored, some pattern papers from this Merry Wishmas, or just Wishmas, from Fancy Pants. Love this collection. Lots of fun colors. There's pinks and blues and greens and like different tones of greens. I'm a huge fan of it. And I have this adorable photo of my son, naked Santa baby. Yeah, and I think that's what my title's gonna be. Well, I have the ho 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 too, so I don't know, I haven't decided, but it's Naked Santa Baby. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do otherwise, besides I want to get these backed, and I'm just gonna do like this one in one color, this one in one color, this one in one pattern, or whatever, and then we'll go from there. So, let's get started. So I've got them backed. I did one in solid red, one in the green on green polka dot, one on, it was like a blue, it's like a pale blue, like snowflake paper. So there's not a ton of snowflake in it. And I backed it in an area of the pattern paper where there wasn't a lot of variation, but just a little bit. So I really like the way they look, and I want to kind of get my photo figured out and matted a couple times so then I can start lining things up and figure out what the heck I want to do, because I still have no clue at this point. But as I was backing them, I was thinking, you know what I could do? I could make them a little more interesting by filling some of those areas in the cut file with some Nuvo drops. So right now I'm just first figuring out where I want to put them. I really like this tree pattern paper, but it's just too busy. So I decided to grab, all these papers are double-sided, which is really fun, and some of them have a solid on the other side. So I grab a green, and I kind of like how that looks with the cut files, because they're, outlined in white, and then they're different patterns. So I really like the way they pop off that green. And so I'm going to just cut a square that kind of fits what I'm doing, the three ho-ho-hos and my photo. Just cut a square just big enough so that it's kind of like a little layout on with a really thick mat. So I love that, Gonna glue that down. And then I'm thinking that the edge needs something. I don't know if I want to do white or stitch. And I looked over at my sewing machine and it's got black thread in it. So I was lazy and didn't feel like changing the thread. So I grabbed these grungy stamps I have. And there is a kind of a border stamp that sort of looks like someone did some stitching. But it's kind of like a scallop stitch look. So I'm going to take some barn red or barn door red distressed oxide. I did a little test thing, but oxides are pigmented and they have, they're more of a chalky finish. They're opaque. They're not see-through. So you have a tendency to be able to stamp more so on patterns or solids versus ink, where it's more translucent. So you're better off doing white or craft or sometimes black, depending on what you get. But there's more pigment in him than there is, yeah. So more of a chalky finish. So I did that around the edge. You can't see it right now in the camera, but it looks real good. And then I wanted to lighten the green up a little bit. I'm going to splatter some of my Dina Wakley acrylic white paint spray, acrylic spray, which all the nozzles clogged, and so I just do it. I like to splatter with my paintbrush anyway, instead of spritzing, but so yeah,
doing that. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab some Nuvo drops and start kind of playing around with my Cutfiles. So on the one hoe that is cut out in the blue that I backed with the blue pattern paper, it almost looks like there's snow. So I'm grabbing my chalk Nuvo vintage drops, so they're matte and it's white. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab green bottle, which is a regular Nuvo drop. And then I've got another matte one, another vintage one, and a green, I can't remember what the name of it is. And then ruby red slippers, which is like a sparkly one. The bottle itself looks pink, but it comes out as a red sparkle. And it made me realize, like, I don't have a lot of red Nuvo drops. It's the only red I have. But this is a really good way to use a bunch of your Nuvo, because otherwise it just sits there. So I'm actually just taking my Nuvo drops and filling in parts of the cut file. And this is why I'm not too worried about what it's backed with, because they are going to cover it up. They're going to cover it up completely wherever I put them. So I'm filling in wherever the parts that kind of look like snow that's been drifted over onto the letters. I'm doing in the white, and then there's some scallops I'm going to do in red. I do each letter a little differently, and I hope I zoomed in okay and it's not bothering you guys. You're not missing anything. It was hard to make sure you guys could see it. Otherwise, you couldn't see anything. Ever since I moved my camera back, it's been a lot harder to see some detail things. But I feel like the glare is a lot better on my photos. It's definitely more of a smaller area. I just have to remember to zoom in when I'm doing my editing. I can zoom in my camera during the editing process so you guys can see some stuff better. So yeah, just using those two different greens, because there are two different greens in the collection. So that's one of the reasons I wanted two different greens Nuvo drops. And they give you just two different looks, and they're slightly different, but they both go really well. And using that and the ruby red and the white and just adding it to areas of the cut file. And I really like the way they turned out. But about the 20 days, so this is a DT layout. This is one of my design team layouts for Confessions of a Paper Addict. This was a new release this month, and this is my last DT project, but also part of the 20 days, and I have been participating in every single one. So you also have to make sure you go check out everybody else who's playing along with day 15, prompt Santa today for the Christmas one. I don't remember what the prompt for the other one was, but they'll obviously tell you. But this is day 15 of our 20 days of cut files. So much fun. So I'm having a hard time. So I'm trying to make these ahead of time. I made this one decent amount ahead of time, but I didn't get too many done super far ahead of time because I'm having so much fun playing with the cut files that it's taking me a lot longer than I had hoped. But anywho, yeah, so just finishing up those, and I'm adding some green into these scallops, just finishing up the Nuvo on those, and then the rest of the layout does not take very long because this is the most tedious part of it. This is going to be the most tedious part of it, is doing this Nuvo, and then you got to set it aside and dry. I was actually able to do 2 other layouts while I waited for this to dry. That's how long it kind of took. All right, so there they are done. And like I said, layout's going to come together really quick. So I am going to pop the ho, ho, ho. I'm going to pop all those letters up on foam. So I'm going to put my picture down first so that the letters can kind of overlap the photo. And I am going to go ahead and get the foam out, do that. I'm not going to make you watch me do that. That's very tedious. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the ephemera that kind of came with this collection. There's a lot of good tags and things, but I don't have a lot of room. And because I've kind of created this little mini page on top of a page, I want to kind of keep everything in that green area. So, and it's okay if it goes off a little bit, but I don't want it to too much. But I like this fa la 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 la. It's kind of a speech bubble, kind of perfect for up by the top of my photo. And then I'm going to grab a couple of the little floral elements and tuck them into the O by the H and then the other O, and just play around and tuck and make some little clusters on those letters. And then I will add some of their little puffy dots that they have in this collection around some of the areas, make a little cluster by that fa la la la, popping some things up here and there, some things overlapping the letters, some things not. And then I will just journal right below the photo. And this is one of those that it turned out way better than I thought it was going to. It's turned out super, super cute. I really love it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and make sure you check out everybody else, like I said, and are enjoying all the 20 days of Cutfiles. We are almost done. It's getting close. Lots of good Cutfiles and lots of good inspiration for y'all. And yeah, I hope, I encourage you to use your Nuvo drops and put it on your Cutfiles. Try it out. Give it a try. It's pretty fun. Adds some dimension and a little depth and some texture, and yeah, super fun. So thank you guys so much again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you tomorrow, or you'll hear me tomorrow. Okay, bye.